just to give a personal experience, I went to, I'm a lifetime East Liberty resident and went to East Hills and then Frick, so I was part of the magnet program, it's part of the IB. And looking back on the entire experience, being 27 now, I really think that some of the most important experiences that I had in terms of personal growth and just the overall urban experience coming up in Pittsburgh was the role that being at East Hills, which was a feeder pattern and combined magnet school, had. Because we got to develop bonds and relationships and friendships that I still have to this day with young people from the feeder pattern neighborhoods of East Hills and also the IB program or magnet program students. So I think that was, just from my own experience, very valuable for me, in terms of making those relationships strong.
Okay, back here. Thanks.
This may have also been addressed.
Pattern schools, whether we, or will there just be Kappas and the science and technology, the technology, and how does 2 or 3 years out look? Does it look like there'll still be feeder patterns, or will it be a complete school district of choice?
I want to believe that. I mean, it's hard to say. I believe we're going to maintain a lot of the things that we have that are successful. But when I get a chance to say a few words, I mean, I have people follow the district. That I have voted very differently from my 2 colleagues on many of these issues, and that's why I wanted to share some thoughts, because I believe some of the thoughts and ideas that I have about who we are with Peabody are maybe different from what you've heard this evening. So my idea is, I mean, we do have under-enrollment, we are losing students. I think that may change in years to come, but I do think at this time that overall that programs in schools that have been successful are going to continue to remain in existence. I would hope that that's the case.
Okay, just process-wise. Randy came in late. There were 2 people that have had their hands up, and one of them is my deputy director, who's actually my boss. And so I need to let Abby ask a question. And this young man here, I've been kind of standing like this, and he's had his hand up, so I've been blocking him. And then we're going to...
That's where it starts. But if that is part of your goals and part of your plans, then why wasn't that done by the school district to do the outreach for community engagement on this issue?
Absolutely.
And the only reason that we've had the last 3 meetings is because PGC convened meetings through Rick's leadership. There was no notices put out for community engagement from the school district yet. And I'm concerned that if we hadn't organized this under Rick's leadership, we wouldn't be having this conversation tonight.
Right. We might not be having this conversation at this moment, but we would be having this conversation because of the timeline for making the decision regarding that. We're talking about several years, 3 years off from today.
But if Abby is out, as I mentioned earlier, there was community engagement for some.
That's what I'm
Exactly. That's
what I'm saying is it didn't involve the very people, the organizations. We're out here for, and you know where our office is, Dr. Kerr's old office. We're out here 33 years. And Rick was hired as a youth development director in 1988, I think, and has been working diligently with Peabody since. And yet, this was happening. And we have many, many children in that school enrolled in the programs with Wireless Neighborhood and other agencies out there that we work with on. But we weren't invited into any meetings. To this day, we haven't been invited in. This is by Rick's making.
The IB selection committee made their decision, recommendation.
Right.
How long ago?
When it hit the paper.
Okay.
About a month ago.
From that point forward is the time that the community either thank you for holding these meetings, or you would have had meetings scheduled by the board, one way or the other. This is a good one.
Is the school district going to absorb the cost of having all these meetings, these community meetings, and schedule them and convene them?
I think we have to work.
We're looking at process and collaboration with the community.
Right.
Yes.
So was it just a
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're going to get to it.
Yep.
Go ahead. This right here. Go ahead.
I have a 2-part question. First, this is just something that I've been hearing upon Peabody closing. Because first, when I first heard it, I thought that Peabody would remain open until 2012 and then close and reopen for the IB program. That that's just what I thought. Now I'm hearing, this is just rumors, I'm just putting this out there with what I'm hearing. Now I'm hearing that Peabody could close this year as far as the incoming students, the new incoming ninth graders. And the children who are there now would go to Westinghouse. This is what I'm hearing. That absolutely, I just want you to know, from my perspective, that absolutely is just not an option for my child. You go to Westinghouse. That's just point number one. And my second point is, just like there are requirements, if my daughter was coming into the IB program, that would be a 4-year program. Am I correct in saying that?
Sure.
Well, my child is currently in a 4-year program at Peabody right now. So what would happen to her program that she's currently enrolled in right now as a Peabody student? That's a big concern, a huge concern for the simple fact I went to meetings with robotics program this summer that they just implemented this summer at Peabody High School, this summer. And it was promised to me that my daughter would have this for 4 years. It's like now, that's a limit. So that's my concern. As a parent, what is going to now happen to am I going to have to pull her out and she will have no more options to enter no other programs in the city of Pittsburgh because all the magnets are 4 years and she would be a sophomore. So then, you know, I'm just like,
So
where's she at?
Your daughter's in the robotics program?
She's in the robotics program.
I mean, who knows, the district may retain the
Well,
robotics
I
program.
mean, can I kind of speak to this because
Well,
I think that it's important though because they don't make the decision in regards to robotics. That would be my decision whether or not I was going to cut it. So as of right now, Carolyn would be in there for the 4 years. You know, we are going to run as status quo since there have been no decisions made. So my goal is that we've recruited already 17 students for the new program, which is up 12 students from last year. At this time, we had 5. So we will continue with the program, the teachers will be maintained, and the funding from my budget will continue to be pushed into the robotics program. So, I mean, and that's as is right now because there have been no decisions made in regards to Peabody.
You know, I'm going to let Randy talk because he asked for
I'm concerned that any time that you have dropping enrollment in a school district like we've had in Pittsburgh and it still continues to drop, there has to be some type of a master plan that takes place because we know what's going on, we can project it, we see what's happening, we see the need to close schools, and I don't think people have a problem with schools closing. I mean, that's just being fiscally responsible. But I'm concerned that there are some committees that are seemingly more empowered than other community groups, and that's an equity issue, and that's something I would be really concerned about. But my question is there a master plan for the district? I'd like to see it. I'd like to read it. I know I've asked to be on a number of committees, and they have told me no. And I've been educated with a PhD, but I've been told no, I can't be on the committees. So what does it take to get on these committees?
You might have to start agreeing, Dr. Barnett.
Yeah.
That might be a start.
Well, we welcome you part. I mean, I want to tell you that Nancy and Lisa Bichetti has said this is going to be a standing working group that's going to take a look at this, and we've talked in the meeting about how can we collaborate with parents.